Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here, and welcome to our Tuesday video, which is on Warships, and covering Update 13.0, the new American aircraft carriers that are coming into the game. So starting the 2024 off right, more aircraft carriers and Warships. By the way, this is not a warship video game. It's about planes, okay? It's not about warships. It's about planes. Jokes aside, okay? So this update is going to be arriving on Wednesday for NA. I believe if you're EU, it's on Thursdays when the updates come in, as I'm reading from the WoW's NA article. So as always, you can claim a day of premium somewhere in the article. For me, it's just on the front. But a summary of what's coming up in Update 13.0 is early access to US aircraft carriers. The Sestri Ponente Dockyard continues for the Michelangelo, Italian secondary cruiser. Bounty Hunt event, display ship parameters in battle, Armory, ranked battles, Brawls, YouTube memberships, Hololive Collaboration, not sure what that's about, content additions and changes, and other changes. So I really hope this video is going to be like half hour or less because I have things to do. So it should be within a half hour. I don't really want it to go longer than that. So update 13.0, so there's a whole video, so if you want to watch the video, just go to the, via the article. I'll put it in the description below. I'm not going to. It'll give you kind of a summary of some of the changes coming in. As we're in the midst of update 13.0 and 13.1, there's going to be some aircraft carrier changes, and there's going to be some submarine changes. So basically, we're experiencing another CV rework, and we're getting... Would I technically say this is our first official submarine rework? I mean, they reworked submarines so much when they were trying to implement them in the game, and submarines, I would say, generally speaking, they just don't work very well in the game. And for them to try to figure out what does it mean to balance, I think is... I don't envy them. Early access to US aircraft carriers. So these are some new American carriers. It is the Tier 6 Independence, Tier 8 Yorktown, and Tier 10 Essex. In addition to these three historical vessels, we're adding camouflages for Yorktown and Essex, plus a commemorative flag to the game. These aircraft carriers feature distinctive gameplay that's unique among the existing ships of this type. They only have access to one standard squadron, torpedo bombers, but are supplemented with two tactical squadrons consisting of attack and dive bomber aircraft. Starting from Tier 8, these tactical squadrons get access to the new smoke curtain generator consumable, so you can use them to provide cover for teammates in need. So, here is your Independence. Here's Yorktown. Very infamous carrier. And here's Essex. And I don't know if these are actually... I'm guessing these are probably the camouflages they're adding in for them. Yeah, so it'll be available in early access, and here's your commemorative flag. So US aircraft carriers event pass. Okay, I'm really wondering, I think they seem to be stopping with the battle pass. So I think they're, like, we had the holidays in Santa City event pass, and I think it's this US aircraft carriers. Let's see. Brings an event pass of 20 levels that, you can progress through by completing a series of daily and weekly missions. Independence stands as the most prized reward in the first progression line, and she's accompanied by US aircraft carriers commemorative flag. They feed a permanent camouflage for Baltimore. I wonder what you'll get if you already have Baltimore. Maybe they'll tell us. A flag's premium container, a Wings of Freedom container, and other valuable rewards. Wings of Freedom containers can also be obtained as rewards for completing extra levels after you've completed the initial 20. You can unlock the second progression line for doubloons. Much like the first line, this is one also comprises of a total of 20 levels, but where it stands out is in the rewards of the Tier 8 Yorktown, a bonus package for Yorktown, Commander Statue of Liberty with 6 skill points and an individual voiceover, the Freedom Permanent Camouflage for Des Moines, and other valuable rewards. American tokens are the reward for completing extra levels after you complete this initial 20. Again, if you have the Freedom Permanent Camouflage, it makes me wonder what would you get? Maybe just community tokens or something? I don't know. So basically what they're doing is, okay, please understand this. Between Independence and between Yorktown, these are tech tree ships. Okay, it's locked behind early access for 2 months. You can get these ships without spending any money. You can get independence without spending any money, right? As well as permanent camouflage for Baltimore. But you will have to spend, I think it was 3,500 doubloons for with the holidays in Santa City to get the second progression line. So just don't worry, okay? Yes, you can get a 6 skill point commander. Yes, you can get bonus package for Yorktown. Yes, you can get a permanent camouflage for Des Moines, but you have to ask yourself, is it really worth it? And of course, they're going to monetize tokens into that as well. So I wouldn't recommend paying 3,500 doubloons for this. Like, you're better off spending those doubloons if you haven't already, like investing them into the Dockyard for the Michelangelo. Okay. We'll be testing a few variants of the US Aircraft Carriers Event Pass, meaning that progression will be different for different players, but the overall pool of rewards will remain unchanged. Huh. So it's not going to look the same for everyone? Progression. Okay, that's interesting. That is interesting. American tokens. You can exchange your American tokens for Essex with a 10 skill point commander and port slot, permanent camouflage for Yorktown and Essex, Wings of Freedom, premium containers and credits. Obtain them either via random bundles for doubloons or by completing extra levels of the second progression line for US Aircraft Carriers Event Pass. Besides the American tokens, the random bundles also hold special and rare economic resources of all types: coal, free XP, elite, commander XP, and American battleship Rhode Island, which can only be obtained via this route. The option to purchase a new battleship will become available in a future update. Okay, so did they literally just put Rhode Island but in a loot box? Random bundles. Okay, so then for you to get Rhode Island, okay, so some players, they might see this like first option, Rhode Island. Maybe it's the second option once you've progressed through the random bundles. But how, like, are they gonna have like what, 48 random bundles you have to get through? Wargaming. Okay, well, I posted on the YouTube community. I was like, I hope they don't put it in an auction. Okay, maybe this is... No, I think the auction would have been worse, but this is still bad. And then they'll make the... Then later on, so maybe, I don't know, and what, a couple updates a couple months later, then you can purchase it some other way. You'll find more detailed information in a separate article. So it looks like they're going to tell us more. So maybe it's worth waiting for that separate article to come out and find out how they plan to release the sale of the battleship, where you can just purchase it outright versus throwing a bunch of doubloons at the game through random bundles, hoping that Rhode Island appears. Granted, no, don't get caught up when you see other players saying, oh, I got it on the second, third, fourth bundle. Okay. And then you think, oh, I had the same chances. Okay, it's going to vary for everyone. That's, when people will share the positiveness, right? If I got Rhode Island in the first 2 or 3 bundles, or even the first one, right, I'm going to be posting about it on the Discord, whatever. But the majority of people aren't going to get it in the first few random bundles. So it's a way Wargaming is going to get even more money from the sale of Rhode Island, which they just also announced Wisconsin coming into the game too, which is in their most recent dev blog. So interesting. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. The Dockyard continues. I don't really think I need to really talk more about this. 5 of the phases you're gonna have to pay doubloons for. If you've already been playing the game and progressed, you likely don't have access to the how did they phrase it? The 2 packages you could get to get 5 or 10 shipbuilding phases, starter packs, yeah. Otherwise, it's going to cost you some 1,750 doubloons per phase versus 10,000 doubloons for 10 shipbuilding phases and 6,000 doubloons for 5 shipbuilding phases. And so this ship is got the main battery in the mid, and then its secondary DPM outpaces even Napoli. So yeah, let's just move on. I'm not going to really invest much into that. Update 13.0 includes a new iteration of the Bounty Hunt event together with changes that were previously announced in Update 12.8. 4 new achievements: Elusive Bounty, win and survive 5 battles as a bounty ship. Dangerous Bounty, destroy 4 ships in a single bounty in a battle as a bounty ship. Hunter Bounty, destroy an enemy bounty ship while being a bounty ship yourself. Decoy Mission, receive 1 million potential damage and finish the top 3 of your team by base XP earned. Allied Bounty Ship must survive the battle. Okay. Ability to remove bounty roll after it's assigned to a player. The conditions for obtaining the bounty hunter achievement have been changed. The achievement is now unlocked if the player destroys an enemy bounty ship while the player is not a bounty ship. Markers for allied bounty ships added. This is what the achievements look like. Let's see. The bounty hunt event will be available in random battles when taking on the bounty roll. Players need to helm tier 6 through tier 10, so it looks like they've excluded super ships from this. Battleships, cruisers, or destroyers, so not aircraft carriers, not submarines. Both players with bounty roll and regular players will be able to earn star tokens, which they will be able to spend in their Star Emissaries Armory category. The main rewards are Bionic Permanent Camouflage for Des Moines, Buffalo, and Baltimore. Players will also be able to obtain coal, common bonuses, containers, and signals. Star tokens can only be earned in the bounty hunt event. Okay, so it doesn't like you can purchase them separately. The Bionic Permanent Camouflage is pretty cool. I'd like to have one for Des Moines. Regular players will be able to obtain star tokens by destroying a bounty ship in battle or earning the decoy mission achievement. Players with bounty roll can obtain star tokens by earning elusive bounty, dangerous bounty, and hunter bounty achievements, as well as by completing special combat missions. After the announcement of the bounty hunt event, players will be able to apply on our portal and be among randomly selected participants. After registration time ends, there will be a selection process which will determine the players which will receive the bounty roll. After the selection period is over, bounty event can start. More information will be found in an upcoming separate article. This will start January 24th and it will end February 7th, so 2 weeks. It looks like what they're giving for this in Star Emissaries. Besides the previously mentioned bounty hunt event and rewards, more goods can be found in Star Emissaries Armory category. So I'm just checking something else. Bounty hunt event, February 1st, ends February 4th. Okay, so the bounty hunt, excuse me, it's for a few days, and then the Star Emissaries in the Armory, I'm guessing, is going to be available for 2 weeks. Okay. It's only a few days. So, of course, they're going to bring back Tech Tree ships in their premium version, being Star Kamikaze and Star Edinburgh. Commanders Andromeda and Triangulum with different things. Yada, yada, yada. So, display ship parameters in battle. So this is actually a new change coming. If you watch King of the Seas tournaments, you'll likely have seen this, or those who are commentating on the battles and seeing what ships do what consumables, what possible commander skills, those type of things. Now let's read a little more into it because it won't be the exact same thing in regards to the COTS. They've added some various differences. They've added a feature that enables players to see various ship parameters while in battle. Essentially, players will be able to click on opposing and allied ships in the team window before or during a battle. Press and hold the tab key to access this window. A tooltip will appear providing information on the selected ship, such as hit points, armament ranges, movement speed, and possible consumables. Okay, possible consumables. So it doesn't tell you exactly what they've taken, okay? Among other parameters. This feature also allows players to hover their mouse over the attributes, such as shells, torpedoes, and consumables in battle and check the data for those items, similar to the functionality in port. It's important to note, this mechanic will show only the best possible parameters for opposing and allied ships that have not been spotted by your ship. Okay, opposing teammates, allied teammates, only the best possible parameters that have not been spotted by your ship. For allied ships that has spotted, the actual parameters and chosen consumables will be displayed in the tooltip. So then you can see, like, you know, you can see if your Neptune teammate, did he take smoke or did he take hydro? Or smoke screen, excuse me. Did he take smoke or radar? Minotaur, smoke, radar. Did the Yu Yang take smoke or radar? Okay, so only when they're spotted can you see that. As for enemy ships, the reason for showing only their best possible parameters is not to reveal their equipment and actual parameters, which would reveal too much about their overall strategy. As a result, enemy ships may have lower or different specifications in actuality than what's displayed in the tooltip. The best possible parameters include any possible bonuses from commanders, upgrade signals, and modules. This feature will not include factors such as unique upgrade commander talents, weather conditions, dynamic effects, or triggerable skills such as Dazzle, Adrenaline Rush, or Fearless Brawler. Okay, so here you can get an example. They've given an example here. You're in the shores and you want to see what your King George teammate has. You can see his hit points, his main battery, secondary armament A, defense, detectable range at C, and I can also see the armament he has. I can see the consumables he has. And then I can go to the enemy Shuatsuyu here, and I can see 15,600 hit points. I can see his main battery, his torpedoes, his speed, detectability range by seas. That's best possible parameter, so best possible concealment he could have in Shuatsuyu, his armament. And then of course here I'm seeing the consumables, but I'm seeing he can choose between smoke or the torpedo reload booster. I go here, I'm looking back at my King George teammate. I can hover my mouse over armor-piercing shells, and it's going to give me all the information regarding the armor-piercing shells. And then I can hover over his consumable for the repair party, and it shows me HP per second, consumable action time. So this King George does not have, for example, the 3 points, I forget what it's called. Basically extends, gives you additional repair party, gives you additional damage control party, and extends your action time of your DCP and your repair party by 10%. So then it'd be like 30.8 seconds. So I can say, oh, okay, so he doesn't have that. It's a commander skill that reduces negative 15% of fire duration and flooding duration. So that's helpful. Maybe this encourages more team play. We really have to see. I really hope, okay, this is just something I'm wondering about. Right, so if I look at my teammate in the Minotaur, I see he has radar. I'm spotting him, I see he has radar. And then, you know, would a player who's unhappy with the Minotaur player go into chat and say, hey, our Minotaur is a radar Minotaur, right? Yeah, you know, I hope people don't take advantage of that in a bad way. That's the only concern I have with it, but overall, I think it's really good. Now, with the Armory and release of Update 13.0, Halford will become available in their army for 228,000 coal. Now this is a hybrid American destroyer. It's the first hybrid destroyer in the game. 6 destroyers of the Fletcher class were planned to receive an aircraft catapult instead of a stern torpedo launcher and number 3 turret, according to plans put forward by the leadership of the US Navy. In this configuration, these ships could launch Kingfisher reconnaissance aircraft, formations consisting of only destroyers, without having to rely on cruisers, and aircraft carriers would receive their own eyes. So it's the attack aircraft tactical squadron is equipped with the engine cooling consumable. The aircraft are armed with powerful Tiny Tim rockets with high damage and armor penetration characteristics, which you can get, I think, on maybe Lexington, if not also Midway, pretty sure. So you have 427mm main battery guns. You can still smoke up if my memory serves correctly. So kind of discouraged because it's like a destroyer kind of has the spotting role. I mean, yes, he's using planes, but you know, is the destroyer not even going to take on engagements, fight for objectives? So I kind of wonder about that. So we'll have to see. There's also new unique upgrades coming into the game for Elbing and the Guden. They're each getting their unique upgrade and be used in the slot 6. So for Elbing, she's getting a unique upgrade which is designed to give her more speed and a better ability to use her guns in open water in exchange for a longer reload time compared to the main battery mod 3, which would take off what? That's negative 12% reload, I think it is. So it's going to cost you 19,200 research points. The effects are the main battery reload time is reduced by negative 6% versus you being able to get negative 12%. So you take a half reduction per se. And then your maximum ship speed while the engine boost consumable is active is plus 12%. And your main battery traverse speed is plus 100%. So your turret traverse is even faster for the Elbing. For the Giden, also 19,200 research points. They've expanded her gameplay that leans more heavily into her airstrike armament, adding a charge and reducing its cooldown time. So you would give up your main battery reload as an example if that's what you've taken in slot 6. So you get an additional aircraft armament charge +1, and your airstrike cooldown time is -25%. So it encourages, leans into the airstrike armament, but also dislodging enemy ships. You know, they're sitting on islands, so on and so forth, and just dumpstering them. So, so that's going to be interesting to see. Ranked battles starts January 10th, ends March 12th. Bronze League is going to be a 7 versus 7 tier 6 ships, no more than 1 aircraft carrier, 1 submarine, 3 battleships, 4 destroyers, 6 cruisers. Silver League, 6 versus 6 tier 8 ships, no aircraft carriers, and no submarines, no more than 3 battleships, no more than 4 destroyers. Gold League is going to be 6 versus 6 tier 10 ships, no aircraft carriers or submarines allowed, no more than 3 battleships and 4 destroyers. So basically, what you're seeing here is you want to get out of Bronze League. You don't want to deal with submarines, you don't want to deal with aircraft carriers, get out of Bronze League, quickly get into Silver League, get into Gold League, so you don't have to deal with aircraft carriers or submarines, because that's just... A submarine and an aircraft carrier can have even much more impact if at least they're decently good, because they kill a lot of the spotting, gameplay of rank is slightly more competitive, so it ruins your flanking, as an example, with the aircraft carriers. So Silver, Gold League are going to be the best places to be. In Season 15, the rule for keeping a star in the event of a loss is the same for all leagues. Only the top XP earner on the losing team keeps a star. Brawls returns January 15th. In the first brawl ends January 22nd. In round 1, it is a 2 versus 2 tier 7 ships, no more than 1 battleship. Maximum division size 2. Round 2 is a 5 versus 5 tier 10 ships, no more than 1 submarine, 1 aircraft carrier, 3 battleships and 4 destroyers. Maximum div size 3. Round 3 is a 4 versus 4 tier 8 ships, no submarines allowed, no more than 1 aircraft carrier, 2 battleships, 2 destroyers, and 3 cruisers allowed. Max division size 5. So you can have max division across all the brawls except round 2, where you can only have 3 of the 5. Max division size 3 of a 5v5. YouTube memberships, some special perks with combat missions if you decide to be a member for World of Warships on the YouTube memberships program. I'm not going to go into it. It's there if you want to read it. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Probably not. Hololive Collaboration. Update 13.0 brings back the heroes of Hololive production, popular Japanese VTubers. Right, they've done this before. They fill the ranks of commanders and plunge into the heat of naval battles back to back with players. But that's not all. Players can also complete combat missions to choose between Commanders Fubuki Shirakami with 6 skill points trained for Hashidate, or Commander Muna Hoshinova with 6 skill points trained for Tier 1 Pan-Asian Cruiser Xing'an as the final reward. Content additions and changes. 13.0 will bring back the previously decorated Cure port. We saw a lot of interest in this port during our early access event for the recently released Japanese battleships, so we're going to bring this incredible port back with a few changes. The dragons present for the early access event will be removed, together with other small details. The stormy weather as well as the music and ambient sounds will remain. This port will be available for the next couple of updates, and we will once again evaluate player feedback to decide how this port will look beyond that. Kind of weird. It's like just introduce the port and keep it as is, but it's their language of will be available for the next couple of updates, and maybe we take it away or they'll change the looks. It seems kind of weird. It kind of seems like a lot of talk just about a port, like an overemphasis, if you will. But I do like it, and how the rain, but then just seeing the lights and how it lands on your ship, right? It's nice. Furthermore, the Eat, Play, Talk flag and Wiki team patch will also be entering the game with the release of this update. Finally, we will be introducing content to the game as part of the collaboration with YouTuber and Twitch streamer The Russian Badger. Among the content introduced will be Recruitment flag, the Russian Badger Commander with individual voiceover, and permanent camouflage for New Mexico. This content will be distributed for free in one of the upcoming updates, and additional information with this collaboration will be announced at this later date. Okay, so there's Russian Badger, but seems to be very heavily a lobster theme. Okay, Commonwealth cruisers coming to the game. They're adding this into testing for developers, volunteers, and community contributors, while Commonwealth cruisers at Delhi, Uganda will be included in one of the later updates. Future changes, Battle of the Java Sea containers and Battle of the Java Sea premium containers will be added to the game, so you can get some ships and other resources. Last thing to hit on is just other changes. Let me see if there's anything interesting here. They're just fixing some textures on the Hyuga and the Tier 7 Japanese or German destroyer, the Moss. They fixed some textures on the polar ice caps, permanent camouflage for Georgia, Algeria, and Alaska. They fixed some commander skill recommendations for Italian ships in the game. Looks like all Italian cruisers. Fix an issue with the camera not keeping up with the selected target when diving deeper than periscope depth while playing as a submarine in the binocular view. Fix an issue with the Chinese language voiceover in Operation Defensive Naval Station Newport. They still have an error. So when the Des Moines appears, it's like our aircraft carrier Lexington or whatever has entered the battlefield, and it's a Des Moines. It's a Des Moines that identifies as a CV because he knows CVs are better. Introduce a limit to quick command playback sounds. Found a rare bug that sometimes causes the game to crash in the arms race mode. I don't think I ever experienced that. Return the ability for players to ping on minimap before the battle start. That's actually nice. Okay, yeah, that's it. Overall thoughts, and looking at the summary of Update 13.0. Nothing, I guess, necessarily exciting unless you really like aircraft carriers, and them bringing the new U.S. American aircraft carriers into the game. Without minefield, just smoke, right? Yeah, smoke curtain generator consumable. So I really hope they don't put minefields in the game because that's just dumb. But yeah, new aircraft carriers. Sucks that they put Puerto Rico in they hid them in random bundles. So it'll be interesting to see how they release that ship later on. For what currency will it be? Will it be research points? Will it be coal? Will it be steel? Really interested to see how they're going to make the ship available later for sale. Maybe they'll bring it back and that's when they put it into the auction. I hope not. I hope not. I just hope it's just for an in-game resource or just doubloons, whatever. So yeah, so let me know your thoughts on this update 13.0. If there's something you're really looking forward to or not. When I was looking on Facebook and YouTube and other places, it doesn't seem like too many players. It seemed like, I mean, of course, players will voice more negative than they do positive. If they're positive, like cool, like move on. But I'm not excited for more aircraft carriers in World of Warships. But I hope the upcoming changes in 13.1 and 13.2, when they do the submarine and CV rework, that will be better for the game, for its health overall. So, if you liked today's video, give a thumbs up. If you didn't, give a thumbs down. Subscribe if you want to see more. If you're subscribed, thanks so much. I appreciate it, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.